We always say any 3 yards of fabric works with any 3-yard pattern.
Let's put that to the test.
Hi, it's Fran Morgan.
And Hannah with Fabric Café.
We've said it before, but any 3 yards will work with any one of our 3-yard quilt patterns.
This makes 3-yard quilts so versatile. No matter what your style is, you're going to be able to find something that you like.
So today we're showing several new fabric combinations in multiple patterns. We've got lots of images to share too. So let's get started. Now this pattern is called Dazzle. This is a great pattern. It's actually a 1 block, which is really cool. So what we've done here is we've made a block right here. It starts with a half square triangle right in the corner. And then we just border it on 2 sides and then border it again. Now we're gonna make exactly the same block again, but we're flip-flopping some fabric positions. Now it's the same block, just a little bit different position. You know that's gonna go really fast. Now after we do all of our blocks, we're gonna rotate them and put them together so that we create this really fun pinwheel in the middle of it. Now we have some great fabric selections. Let me share those with you. Now we have a batik stack of fabric here that is gorgeous. And you know, whenever I first saw this fabric, I didn't realize it was a batik.
Yeah, I can
And
see that.
It's almost like it's a little bit different batik because the background is very solid black, and I love that.
Yeah.
It really makes it pop. But then the flowers and the leaves and everything in here, it varies in color as it goes through, which is so super cool. I really like that.
Which is, yeah, it's kind of reverse. Normally you see a batik that has a more mottled background with a print in more of a solid color.
Yes. So this is a very unique batik, and it's very, very pretty.
Yeah.
And this is going to be our focus fabric this time, and it is going to go everywhere you see the blue snowflake on this Dazzle pattern here. Now our number 2, we have put it with another really pretty floral. And I like this because it kind of, the background of this kind of picks up the leaves and things and our focus fabric, but then the floral picks up all the same colors, just in a little bit lighter tone.
Yeah.
It's a perfect number 2 because it is not boring. And it is going to go right here where all of our little white is here. And then for our number 3, which is our pop, our Shazam, and our wow.
I think it's my favorite.
Yes, it is this gorgeous jade green color. And it goes with our focus fabric so beautifully. And it has the blues and the purples and the greens with that beautiful, beautiful kind of a jade blue-green background. It is just yummy.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
that is going to go everywhere you see the more solid blue here and a little bit of it on our border. I am in love with this.
It's so pretty. It's just, it has a lot of drama, but it also is in all these soothing tones. So it is very comforting.
It just has so much punch. But like you said, it's a calming kind of bold. I know that seems kind of weird.
But it works.
It works. And I love that the number 2 has the texture and it really shows up. Like the contrast in our half square triangles to create that pinwheel is perfect.
You can see all of the hard work that you did in that piecing.
Oh my goodness, it is so, so nice. So our next one I want to share with you is called Saltillo. And wow, it is so interesting how different patterns with the same fabric can look so different.
Oh yeah.
And Saltillo is actually one of my very favorite patterns because I love the vertical movement in this. And it creates this diamond shape. And it's very easy to do. And I like that our focus fabric is on the border.
Yeah, especially because it's a darker focus.
Yes.
So it really frames out the quilt nicely.
It does. I have one more to share with you. And that is our Farmhouse Chic pattern. Now we have, of course, our same focus 2 and 3 fabrics. I love the way the focus fabric is well balanced in the quilt. I think it's very important on this case because that focus fabric is really, really pretty.
Yeah, and you want to be able to show it off.
Yes, and this is a really great example of being able to have a little bit smaller piecing, but our print is big, so it still looks great. It gives us that texture, that color, that pop. And we have our border with our number 3 fabric, which kind of gives it a different look as well.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely does.
Yep. Now, let's do something really fun, and let's look at all three of these quilts side by side, because I think you'll see how different like the borders will look and how it changes it. The placement of our fabrics really makes all the difference in the world, but it also shows how versatile our 3-yard quilts are.
Yeah.
And as long as we get that contrast, it's going to look amazing.
Oh, yeah. So no matter what you're interested in, so if you don't want to do house square triangles, Farmhouse Chic is a great option.
Yes.
Or if you're looking for something that has a little bit more piecing, either one of those others would be great.
Or a one block like Dazzle, which is perfect. Yeah. It's going to go together quick. And you can see how changing the borders makes it totally look different. Oh, it's just so cool. So if you love the fabric, but you're not totally in love with the pattern, have no fear.
Yeah, you can change it up, whatever pattern you want.
Yep. All right, let's get you the information on this kit because it's gorgeous and so many things. So it is called Teal Twilight. And we originally showed it to you in our Dazzle pattern, which is from the book Magic of 3-Yard Quilts.
This beauty right here is Majestic. And the really cool thing about this pattern is it works with a full-size panel like you see here, or you can use a yard of regular fabric. So you could get a really big print and it would show off so well right here in the center. And our border is made up with half square triangles that come together to make this beautiful diamond right in the corner. A lot of movement going on, a lot of action, and it frames out this beautiful fabric right here. So let's put it on the table and see what we have for you today. So our next fabric kit is absolutely gorgeous. And our focus fabric is really fun because it has the look of a panel, but it's actually running yardage.
Oh,
so there's lots of options for you to work with it. So we're gonna put an image on the screen so you can see what that full yard is gonna look like. Okay. So you have this beautiful prairie scene with a windmill. I mean, it just looks like a piece of art.
It is a piece of art. It really, really is. And I love how it has kind of some earthy tones in the grass and the fields. But then as you get taller into the sky, you have those beautiful blues and purples. Wow.
And it's all like watercolory. It's a gorgeous fabric.
It is so, so pretty.
So that's gonna be our number 1 fabric. And that'll go in our big spot right here, which looks amazing. So we've got an image coming, don't worry. And then our number 2 is this textural blue and cream cloud. So it'll pick up all of those kind of creamy, earthy tones that you were talking about with that pop of blue.
With the cool blue? I love it. Perfect, number 2.
And that's gonna go everywhere you see your gold right here. And then for our number 3, we're picking up all of those prairie grass colors, and we have this beautiful grass, greenery texture, but on this mottled red and gold, orange background. Very rich. And that's gonna go everywhere you see your green.
Okay.
So let's check out the image for this. And you can see how we have that nice big area to show off that whole yard. So you can see all of the different textures, the grass, the windmill, and that orange red just really frames it out.
You kind of think, oh, it's brown, but it's not brown. It's kind of red. It's kind of, and it does. It picks up all of the colors in that beautiful image. What a perfect frame for a piece of art.
Oh, yes, yes. And you know, this would be a beautiful wall hanging. Oh. It really would look like a large piece of art that you got. And it would be a piece of art.
It is. It is gorgeous. Very nice.
So we're gonna show you a couple other patterns that we think this would look nice in. So first off, we're gonna look at city lights. And it's fun because although this fabric is like a panel, you can cut it into individual squares and just make the image go up your quilt.
I love it. You're right. So whenever you're following the pattern, you cut the fabric just like you always do. And before you start assembling it, just arrange and turn your blocks because they're cut independently.
Right.
Which is great. And then just make the scene go up. So it's like you're peeking through a window almost. I love it.
And I do recommend getting a pattern where you cut the fabric individually. So that way you can really select like how you're gonna lay it out and make sure that the picture is going the way you want it to be.
Good tip. Love that. It's gorgeous.
And now our other pattern is bold blocks, and I love this one. It's so fun with that asymmetrical border going up the quilt.
It is so perfect. And once again, I think with the art in the background as our focus fabric, it gives it a dimension that I don't think I've seen in bold blocks before.
Yes. Yeah, it's like you're peeking through a frame into this wonderful prairie land.
It is almost like you have a piece of trellis that you're, I really like this.
And all of that contrasting with that orange just looks so good with it.
Isn't it amazing? I'm just blown away. I don't know if y'all are blown away, but I'm blown away.
Me too. So let's look at all three of those next to each other. And it's so fun seeing how different all three of them can be.
Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous as a full yard panel.
Yes.
I love it that way. But what great interest the other two have.
With all of those just peeking through. So depending on what your vibe is and what you're feeling, this is a really fun way to change up your pattern. And you could make this work with traditional panels too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, change it up, cut up your panels, put them in a quilt like City Lights or Bold Blocks.
Oh, that's
and
a great idea.
it would look so much fun.
It would. We should do that for them sometime.
Ideas.
No.
More projects. That's fun. All right, so let's get you the kit information on this one. And the kit is called Prairie Serenity, and that is using our Majestic pattern.
Now this is our Wonderland quilt, and this is another great one-block quilt. This one is so simple. So when you're putting it together and you're building your blocks, your block is right here. It consists of a rectangle, a half square triangle, and another rectangle. So basically we're going to build this unit here and then sew it to the side of this. And then we're going to make half of our blocks with this color placement, the other half of our blocks with the secondary color placement. Same exact block. Then we're going to rotate them, put them together, and have this fun pinwheel created and all of this movement in the quilt. It just looks like it's kind of dancing all over the surface. I really, really love this. Now, let's go check out some fun fabric. I love these abstract, textured fabrics with all of these colors like this. I don't know why, but they just really, really appeal to me. And I love being able to use them in quilts and show people how great they are.
Yeah.
I think they're amazing. And this is just like, it's not a stripe, so I don't want to say that, but it does have a linear kind of a feel to how they place the colors. So it's going to act a little bit like a stripe.
It's like an abstract stripe.
Yeah, there you go. And so whenever we make our patterns with this, don't worry about the placement of the stripe. When you follow the directions and you cut it exactly as it says, it's going to work the way we show you, which is really handy.
Yes, it takes one more thing that you have to think about and just
takes it out. Okay, so this is our focus fabric, and you can see all of the beautiful pinks and blues and greens and golds, and so great.
This makes me think of a shirt you have.
I know.
You need this fabric.
I need that fabric.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our focus, and it's going to go everywhere you see the pink and green floral here. And then we have just a little bit in our half square triangles. So just a little bit in the little, and then a little on the border, which is great because that'll frame it in with all that color.
Oh, yeah.
And then our number 2 is this gorgeous textural blue. I love this blue, and it's such the perfect turquoise color because I tend to go, I like the more blue turquoise and not the green, although the green turquoise is really good too. So, but
it depends on what you're matching it with, you know?
But this is such a beautiful clear turquoise, and I love it because it almost makes me think that someone has a big paintbrush and they're going like this, and they're going like this, and they're
which is my favorite way to paint.
And I also really love it because it's our number 2 fabric. So we have a nice, brilliant color. Everywhere this white's gonna go, we're gonna have this gorgeous blue.
Which would be really nice.
That is really great. And then for our number 3, we have a textural pink, and it's got like graining on it, like it's a stone or something, and a little bit of writing that you can't read because it's in another language. I can't read it.
I don't think we're supposed to read it.
It adds some interest, I think. It just adds another textural element that is really, really cool, and it all stays in that abstract family, which is neat. And really the pink, well, of course, the blue matches perfectly. The pink picks up all the pinks in the focus. And the pink here is going to go everywhere you see the blue here. In all of our pinwheel here, well, this is really our corner block that makes a pinwheel. And then all the blues here. So it's going to give us lots of color and lots of contrast. And it's kind of cool because it definitely is an abstract grouping of fabric that is just bold in color, which I love. I think the pink really pops.
Yes.
And the blue is a great background because really the pink is what is popping, but then you get the peak of that focus fabric.
Oh yeah, it plays a supportive role in this, but it's such a nice fabric to fill that large space for the number 2. There's still so much going on.
Pulls all of the color in, and I just really, really like it. It really has lots of movement and texture and everything. So we have it in illusions here. I like it in this pattern because illusions, we've got our square and a square, and we're switching out what's in the center of the square. So they kind of alternate. So you have your number 3 fabric in the center, and then your focus in the center, and then your number 2 in the center, and it kind of balances it all out and gives you some diagonal movement that your eye follows.
And it disperses all of the fabrics really nicely. So you have all 3 of your fabrics dispersed very evenly across the surface of your pattern.
So it feels very grounding and balanced, which is, this is perfect for this. This is great. It's so fun. Okay, we have one more to share with you. And we have put our fabric into the Crosswalk pattern, which is from our 1-block book. This is cool because, okay, you know how we were talking about illusions, how it balanced it all? This does the same thing, but it does it in a different way. It's opposites. So your focus fabric is opposite corners and your number 3 is opposite corners, and it all pops off of that gorgeous blue background. And it's so interesting.
It almost makes it look like a 3D effect with that blue, that teal, that turquoise in the background, really making those things look like they're coming off the surface.
It does. It's that, it goes back to that depth. It kind of creates that dimension and depth that we just love to see in our quilts with the fabric placement. And what I really like about this too, so for our illusions pattern, the number 2 is on the border.
Oh, so you can get a taste of what all 3 of them would look like on the border.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
I think but it shows how different the fabric, you know, the roles that it plays in each of the quilts works beautifully in every single one, but different in every one. So it kind of draws your attention to different places.
And you know, we have a really great resource for you on our website. If you are trying to figure out what patterns you have, what might look best, and you're trying to keep track of them all, we have something called 3-Yard Quilt Pattern Collection, and that's under our free goodies tab, and it has all of the patterns that we've made on the list. They're also divided into what goes into what books. It tells you whether a pattern is available in just a book or if it's available in a book and individual. It is stepped out for you so that you can go in and check them off.
All right, let's get you the kit information on this gorgeous kit here with all these colors. The kit info is Painted Radiance, and it is our Wonderland pattern from our Make It Christmas with 3-Yard Quilts book.
Now this is a great pattern. This is Time Machine from our Easy Does It book, and it's made up with 2 blocks. We have a nice square here, which you can use a directional fabric in because it's cut independently. Super easy. Then our secondary block is just a 4-patch made with 4 half-square triangles. So we have one here, here, and on this side we've got 2 more. And when they come together, they create this really cool diamondy effect where the points meet in the middle. And when you frame the block, it creates these little points coming off, so it almost looks like you have a nice big diamond right here framing your focus. Really fun to put together. Lots of different fabrics look great in this quilt, so let's go check out one. Our next fabric is going purple and a little bit more traditional, which I think is really pretty, very soft. We have these beautiful hydrangeas, and I love hydrangeas. They are such a beautiful flower.
They are. They really are. And I know that I've seen a lot of people like dry them and display them that way, and they're so pretty.
Ooh, I never thought about doing that.
Putting it on a quilt is perfect. And there's a little butterfly on this.
I love that. Floating around, which, I mean, what's better than being able to look outside your window and have hydrangeas with the butterflies floating around,
Fresh
looking at
spring
them.
day. That's what it makes me think of.
Love it.
So gorgeous.
And we've got all these beautiful purples and a light blue, a little bit of indigo in there. That's going to go everywhere our focus block is right here and on the binding, which is going to look really fun.
Yeah.
And then we went for a soft textural gray for our number 2 so that it'll pick up some of these kind of undertones in our focus with the purples and things, but it will offer a really nice backdrop to our focus fabric.
It's nice contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
And that's going to go everywhere you see this light pink right here. And then for our number 3, we went with this like more indigo, kind of picking up all of these darker hydrangeas, but it's this nice vine sort of floral silhouette, which I think is so pretty.
It is so, so pretty. And you know, I just thought of this, and if these were people with personalities, number 3 would be the big, bold, gregarious party goer, and number 2 would be the wallflower.
Yes. What's number 1?
Number 1, maybe that's the balanced professional. I don't know.
Or they're the host.
They're the host.
They're the one throwing the party.
That's right. They're the host. That's right. It's their party.
And so this is going to go everywhere you see this purple leaf right here. And I love how that darker purple, blue, indigo is framing our focus. You can really see the diamonds.
That is
when it's like
really pretty. I like it that the diamonds stand out that way.
Yeah.
I think both of them do. The white diamond with the number 2 framing the focus, it's there and you see it, but the purple is really what brings your eye.
Yeah. And again, it looks kind of like an optical illusion, like it's floating off the quilt, which I love.
I love that.
So let's take a look at it in a couple others. And the first one is Liberty, which I think is stunning. This one surprised me how good it looked. I knew it would look good, but whew.
This is also one of my favorite patterns. So this just is incredible.
That star, that big old star block looks so dynamic with that hydrangea in the center with that dark purple doing all of the corners and the points.
Oh, so gorgeous.
And then our next one is Big Blooms, which I think is fun. It's a play off of, we have floral fabrics, so we're playing off of the floral. And we have that nice flower in the center of all the blocks.
I think it's very sweet.
It's so sweet. And I love, the number 2 works really well for all 3 of these, I think.
Yeah, and Big Blooms is great because there's no half square triangles, but you get a lot of movement in that pattern. So it gives you some nice diagonal movement there. And it really highlights the focus fabric. I like that.
Yeah. So let's look at all 3 of them next to each other. And you can see how drastically different all of these are with this fabric. It's the same fabric in all 3 of them, but each pattern looks so very different from one another.
Wow. And I have to point out again, and I think this is so interesting, the borders on each of them are different. And it almost like it brings your eye to different fabrics in the center when the borders are different like that. That is so cool.
I love the border on Time Machine, how it has that white and the gray in the center of it with the small framing of the purple.
Oh, I like that too.
That's so
I like
nice.
that so much. Oh, this is so hard to choose. You guys are going to have to tell us what you think is your favorite.
Yeah, which one's your favorite? Because I don't know. I like them all for various reasons. I love that Big Blooms is a flower in a flower.
Yeah.
I think that's so cute.
I do too. I love that.
All right, the kit information for this one. It is called Hydrangea Haven, and we showed it first in the Time Machine pattern from the Easy Does It book. So what was your favorite combination that you saw today? Which fabric, which pattern? I would love to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, and if you would like to see even more fun ways to use 3-yard quilts, be sure to watch the video that pops up.
Happy quilting!